Well, hello, everyone. I'm Gwen Garnet. I'm the Program Director for the Center for Financial Advancement. And it's good to be here with two, and I call them friends and colleagues, with Roberto Sanchez from Bowie State and Phil Bracken with Vantage Score. And we're going to have a little conversation about the impact Vantage Score has had on our Center for Financial Advancement and personally for Roberto. Just a brief background, CFA, or the Center for Financial Advancement, is a program that, as I summarize it, is providing access and knowledge to students at HBCUs to introduce them to the real estate finance and mortgage industry, but also to give them those financial, personal, and professional skills to develop them holistically. So when they leave school, they're ready to be the best corporate person, entrepreneur, and oh, by the way, buy a home in their 20s as well, not rent for the rest of their lives. So that's just a short synopsis of what CFA is, started by HomeFree-USA. And today, I'm having a conversation with two great people, and I will start with Roberto, one of our CFA scholars. And Roberto, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you have experienced, why you got involved in the Center for Financial Advancement and how you've benefited. And then we'll get into your story about what happened to you recently. So Roberto, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really grateful for all the help. Well, my name is Roberto Sanchez. I am a senior at Bowie State University, and I am majoring in sociology. I got introduced to the Center for Financial Investment by my Management 101 teacher, Dr. O. He recommended that I should apply, and the CFA program really stuck out to me because, um, you know, whenever you're forming who you want to be, what type of person you want to grow up to be, the people that you hang around, the community that you're involved in, have a really big impact on you, whether you know it or not. I, as a student, have understood all these things because I'm a sociology major, and found it really important to find myself in areas where I could grow professionally, and just have people that would hold me accountable. And definitely, the monthly events that we would have for CFA, learning these things were something that I was aware of, but they were topics that were really new to me. My father, since I've been born, has worked from sunrise to sunset, and he's always wanted me to, aspire for more, to reach for things that he was never able to get to. And whatever opportunities I was able to get, like the CFA program, I would just go for it because I know he sacrificed a lot for me. And those sacrifices weren't in vain. So I definitely wanted to make right by him, and then also make right for myself and my family, which I definitely intend to have in the future. So whatever opportunity I could get, I went for it. And that's how I joined the CFA program. As far as the HandUP fund, none of us ever foresee everything that's going to go on in life. We all have a plan and we like to see it through, and sometimes it just doesn't go that way. As a student, in Dr. O's management class, he really invested into us and helped us to, understand how to have different revenues of different flows of revenue so that we can be financially stable. That's something that I also learned from the CFA program. So Dr. O was like, "You guys need to start a business. You guys need to have something apart from your 9 to 5." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, let me try something." So he was really encouraging, and I started a photography business. So one of the things that I got really involved in is church, and I have been kind of cataloging the progress that we're making because we're getting like a new building and stuff like that. So I wanted to do something and take photographs of all the progress, put together a video for everybody to see. And I did this trying to get something that was on the roof. And as I was, on the roof, something was on the floor. I tripped, fell through a window about 30 feet, had to go to the hospital. I was really severely injured. Um, it was really, really bad. I was really fortunate to even live. Most of the people that I had talked to from the medical staff said, most people don't live past a fall from 10 feet, much less 30. And those that do, survive usually have to deal with their injury for the rest of their lives. And, I'm really grateful because not only did I, live past that, I actually had a follow-up with my surgeon this last week ago, and he was surprised that I even recovered. He was like, I didn't think it was going to be possible for you to recover. Here's my hand that was injured. I was like, had no ability to move it at all. So I've been able to recover, and I had never been to a hospital before, and I never knew how, how 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 big hospital bills were. So for me, still being a college student, being the first in my family to go to college, I didn't have that much money saved. My parents, only my dad works, so he's able to give how much he can give, but we've never been, rich by any sense. So the Hand Up Fund was really able to give me hope that it would be all right. Because it is difficult to handle, financial situations that come up like that. And one thing that I had always kind of kept in mind, with the Hand Up Fund, I don't like to use the word hate because it has such a strong connotation to it. I think it's a bad um, habit to use the word hate, but I would say I hate when people use the word self-made. I think we've all reached the point where we are, if we're successful, even if we're not successful, we've all reached the point in our lives because of the help and the contributions of others. And the Hand Up Fund really reminded me of that, I've been working hard all my life. I do what I can. I stay motivated. I'm diligent, but ultimately where I am and where I'm headed is because so many people are generous and kind to think beyond themselves and live beyond themselves to help me and help others. And I know that the contribution that I've received is not going to be something that, I'm just like, great, I got it for myself, but I'll definitely have that in the back of my head as I, become an adult, become, more influential to be able to help others that are like me. Because I know for me, I work with students in high school, and so many of them, they find it impossible to think that they could even go to college until somebody tells them, no, you definitely can, and encourages them and just tell them that,
So,
and even just help them with certain things. So definitely, I'll let you something.
Roberto, thank you. So when you think about the reality, because I know you're getting ready to graduate and then now you have this huge bill that's on top of that and your family can't help you with it. What Vantage Score did and providing and funding and that went through the Hand Up Fund made a big difference for you. And I know the school, because I talked to them beforehand about it and make sure it wasn't interfering with anything that was happening from a financial aid standpoint. So we got all that figured out. But we're glad, number one, that you're alive. Gosh, I didn't realize it was to the point that they didn't think you could live, but that you also don't have any major side effects and you're able to finish your education as well. So Phil, let's talk about, and this is for your first time meeting Roberto, but let's talk about first of all, and as Marcia lovingly calls you, she calls you the bishop. Phil Bracken, guys, for those who don't know Phil has been in the industry for a long time, and he's a person, the way I think of him, he knows his stuff about the industry inside and out, but what's more important to me, he has a heart for what he does and genuinely cares about people and wants to have sustainable impact, not the impact that people want to have when they are awake, are socially consciously awake because of what's happening in the current environment. Phil is Phil, and he's been committed to this movement that we have, and CFA is a movement, but he's been committed to the movement of helping people, period. So that's just my personal Phil commercial, okay, Phil? But tell us about why Vantage Score wanted to support the Center for Financial Advancement, and then why, in addition to that, is it important to give students direct support when they need it? So Phil, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Gwen, so much. And Roberto, let me just say on behalf of Vantage Score and for college students everywhere, you are a hero. Anyone that can actually sustain the kind of impact that you've had in your life and grow from that and be willing to accept the challenge and overcome. It takes courage and determination, and God bless you for being the kind of person you are and an inspiration to college students everywhere. So a big congratulations and thank you for being you. Let me just step on a little different platform here. I want to just mention why we're so deeply involved in the Center for Financial Advancement and HomeFree-USA and the historically Black colleges and universities, and why we've made this kind of commitment. let me just start with a little backdrop. The company I work for is called Vantage Score Solutions. We are a credit scoring model development company. And one of our I guess I would call it victory song for America is we have the ability to provide a credit score to 40 million consumers across the US that can't get a score through other traditional legacy models. That is so important to us to be able to serve underserved populations of America and those that haven't been advantaged in a traditional sense. But it's only part of what we do. In addition to that, we've been advancing and looking for ways to advance our social responsibility initiatives across the US. And we found through HomeFree-USA's deep and rich and wonderful engagement with the historically Black colleges and universities that we could make a commitment and make it part of our DNA. We didn't want this to be a fad. We wanted it to be part of the religion of our company to serve do something different to advance the cause for the generations that are coming. I might just mention here that, you know, we are disciples of the Harvard Joint Center for Housing's demographic studies that tell us that 80% of new household formation in America over the next 20 years, 80% of the new household formation will be people of color. And we must be able to design business practices and policies and opportunities to serve that tsunami of need that's coming at us. So when we decided to engage in the Center for Financial Advancement, we not only wanted to do this in terms of investing in the scholarship program and the education and training and mentoring for financial education and to improve the opportunity for those aspiring new young college graduates. But we also wanted to develop internship opportunities and things like that. And I just mentioned, you know, the scholarship initiative, frankly, has been maybe twisted sideways by this pandemic. Much of America has been, but the definition of scholarship, frankly, has changed. I'll give you a simple example. No one expected that many of the historically Black colleges and universities would have to charge students a technology access fee that they really didn't plan for, and certainly students didn't plan for. So when we're talking about providing funding and scholarship initiative around this, around the Center for Financial Advancement, part of that scholarship can be broken down into many different functions and dimensions, much the same as the HandUP fund does for providing a hand up for individual students. I'll end this by just saying we're thrilled to be a sponsor. We're thrilled to be a provider of education and advancement so that there can be a paradigm shift for these folks that are in historically Black colleges and universities to be more enthusiastic about career paths in financial services, opportunities, not just at Vantage Score, but at other places. And anytime we can help students like Roberto achieve their goal, we're all in. And again, just want to thank Gwen and HomeFree-USA for their hard work in creating and investing and designing this program. And I pray that other financial institutions, other companies across America will join what we've done at Vantage Score by committing to be a sponsor and a partner in this process.
Phil, thank you so much. And Roberto as well. And I must say, I see Roberto has his Bowie State background. And I can't say enough about Dr. Bro. Dr. Amita Bro is a phenomenal partner. She's president at Bowie State. And Roberto mentioned Dr. O. Dr. O is a professor, but he's also our liaison with the Center for Financial Advancement. And I heard you say that you learned through CFA and reinforcing Dr. O's class about having multiple streams of income. Because as Phil said, we want to help the students be as successful as possible in all aspects of your life. So thank you both for your time today. It's been a great brief conversation. We'll have more of these with other students. So everybody take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and Vantage Score and Phil, thank you so very much Your contributions are making a huge impact in ways that we may not even be aware of. So thank you guys. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Roberto.